Oh my God, this guy is a pro. He applied for a welder job and asked for a monthly salary of $30,000. The boss gave him a test to bend these steel pipes into different styles of 90-degree angles. If he could finish the test according to the boss's requirements, $30,000 a month was no problem. The guy picked up the materials and got started. He first drew a straight line in the middle of the square pipe and used this line as a reference to mark 4 equal parts with a 1.5 cm gap. Then he drew diagonal lines to form 2 large triangles, and these 2 large triangles were the parts to be cut off. He cut along the lines with an angle grinder and removed the 2 triangles. Then he gently bent it, and he could see that it not only formed a 90-degree angle, but also had a straight edge and a slant. Now he just had to weld the gaps between them and smooth the seams and spray paint it. He aced the boss's first test. The second test was a flat pipe. He first used 2 paper boards of the same width to draw a bowl shape on the wide side. Then he drew 2 straight lines on the narrow side and copied the bowl shape to the other wide side. These 3 sides were the parts to be cut off. He cut them with an angle grinder and removed them. Then he bent the remaining side into an inward curve. Then he gently bent it to make sure it fit tightly. He also used a hammer to help with the fitting and welded the gaps and smoothed the seams. This angle had an inner curve. The 90-degree bend was done. Third test was also a flat pipe, but this time the angle had to have an outer curve. He cut along the outline he drew and removed the shaded part. Then he gently bent it, and he could see that the angle formed a perfect curve. Then what he had to do was to weld the gaps and smooth and paint them. He also passed the third test. So for these 3 tests, if you were the boss, how many points would you give him?